Oh goodness. I don't even know where to start. It has been 84 years. It's been too long. Honestly, I don't even know how long it's been. I'll have to go look that up. So hey friends, you know, it's definitely been a while. Terry's still here, obviously. So, you know, as much as I want to say that I've missed this, kind of have, but at the same time, I never really got a good flow and a good start going. So as much as I can say I've missed this, at the same time, I'm like, did I even really start? Did I really even go anywhere? We've had a lot of changes in our life. A lot of changes. I don't even remember what was the last thing I talked about before, like what the last things were going on. I know Mike was here, and if Mike was here, then that means my son had moved back home from Washington, him and his wife and his little baby. Well, since then, they've found a place and they've moved closer to us. They're not too far away. I could actually walk there if I wanted to. They recently had a new little baby boy, so got our second grandchild, both boys. My daughter that you used to see on the videos with me, she has had a lot of life changes as well. Currently, she's finishing up her college program at Disney, has had a blast there. She got proposed to a couple of weeks ago. Ethan just turned 17. Terry came to say hello. Say hi, Terry. He just wants to be in the shot, I guess. Yeah, as you can tell, Terry just kind of does his own thing. So that's one thing that has changed for us. We tore down our big chicken coop. We've been struggling with a family, a fox made a den in our old pond and ended up terrorizing the chickens. So we are down to one rooster, one hen, and Terry. Right now we're kind of in a holding pattern with that. Hoping to reorganize some things around here, like building some new ghost shelters. We've got a new chicken coop we need to build. Reorganizing what we want to do with the garden. Be tearing out the flower and herb boxes that I have because they're starting to rot. That's a mess. The big tree that was sitting over the chicken coop blew down last year. We had some crazy straight line winds that took that down. Like, of all things, the chicken coop was standing right next to it. Coop was fine. I mean, you never know what wind is gonna do. Yeah, so we've been navigating a lot of changes around here with homeschool, work, just family life in general, and had a lot of health challenges over the past couple of months. Well, actually over the past couple of years. And that's what's kind of taken us out of, and I wanted to focus on my health. There's that. Honestly, I thought when all that started, I was going to be done with YouTube. And the more I think about it, the more I question myself, why did I stop? It wasn't hurting anything. It wasn't really taking that much time out of my life. It wasn't costing me anything. And it's something I could do. Honestly, I look at it as wanting to just kind of use it as tracking progress. Something that we can look back on over the years as we age. We can look back at the kids. We can look back at our progress and see how far we've come as a family. We still have plans to hopefully get this property up to where it needs to be and get it sold so we can move. And that's kind of changed because we were looking at moving at maybe somewhere further out in East Tennessee or even South Carolina. And we talked about moving to Florida for various reasons, but seeing as how our kids have all started to really settle in the area and now they're getting married and having grandchildren, we're not so sure that we want to leave. At least not right now. My dad's retired. They live close by too. So anyway, right now our daily life kind of looks like an organized chaos, to be frank. Mike usually leaves in the morning about 5 o'clock for work. And then I leave here close to 6 to take Bjorn back and forth to school. I get back home and basically go straight into work. I do the chores around here with the goats, the 3 birds that we have. And I start work and I try to get in an hour or 2 before I need to wake up Ethan and get him started with school for the day. He's been doing some tutorials and whatnot outside of the home, which is great. I love that he is enjoying those. Gives me a little bit of a break. However, all it does is lands me in a coffee shop for 3 hours to work while he's in class. And that's fine because it does get us out of the house. It's nice to get away, even if it's just for a couple hours a day. However, I actually have landed in physical therapy at 2 different places, 2 days a week, 2 different reasons. Ethan just finished up a round of physical therapy. He dislocated his knee back in October, literally the week before our Disney trip. He's come a long way from that. He still has some struggles where he's got some pain or like uncertainty and his knee feels wobbly. And the crazy thing is that's not even why we started his therapy. His scoliosis and his kyphosis gotten worse, and so they wanted to focus on that, but it ended up focusing on getting his knee rehab, so at least he could walk to the bathroom without dislocating, which is crazy, but it's also part of Ehlers-Danlos. And then, in the afternoon, I go straight back to pick Bjorn up, take him home, run errands, whatever needs to be done, finish up school, finish up work, dinner, chores, and then crash. And I have not been taking time for myself, my health, and wellness, and that is something that I'm changing. I've got to get that changed. So part of this coming back onto YouTube again is to work on that. I need accountability, and I think the only way I'm going to get accountability is to be held accountable by you guys. But I do have some priorities that I want to focus on over the next year, leading up to Ethan turning 18, Susan getting married, and myself getting married, and then us looking forward to hopefully getting this house ready to sell. I need to focus on myself. I need to focus on improving what I'm doing with work, with homeschool, with homemaking, and a health journey. He's just gonna stay back there. He is definitely a photobombing camera hog. Okay, so for future plans, at least over the next couple of months to year, I've been brainstorming the YouTube channel as well, my content, even the name of the channel, because I don't think it fits anymore. We started out Atypical Homestead, single mom with all the health struggles, challenges, atypical life, with the autism, and then the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome that we all have, and how we are not like your normal, everyday, homesteading, homeschooling families. We have to make accommodations, we have to make changes, and do things differently to accommodate for those challenges that we have. However, yes, we're still doing that, but I just don't feel like the name is appropriate anymore, because our focus is not the homesteading life. Our focus is all of the things: homestead, homeschool, homemaking, health journey, and just life in general. I don't want to get stuck in a zone that I can't get out of just because it wouldn't make sense and it wouldn't fit with the content of the channel. So for now, it is probably going to be very, I'll say disorganized, but it may be different on a weekly basis of the type of content that I'm putting out. But that is what I've got to do until I find the fit and function of what this is. The plan is right now to start with weekly, maybe bi-weekly videos, but at a minimum weekly. Real life homeschooling content, routines, tips, those type of things. Simple, healthy-ish meals, budget and time friendly, because that's what I have to do. You know, Ethan has his eating challenges, and I can't make 2 meals at every meal to accommodate. So things are going to have to be healthier. I need to focus on protein, you know, vegetables, and healthy fats and those type of things. And we have started that, and it's worked pretty well. He's good with the meats. He's good with some of the carbs and the fats. And we're working on the healthier vegetables with him. So that's also going to be a challenge, and we're just going to have to go with it as we have for all these years. As you guys know, he's been in feeding therapy and other things, and it has worked. It has helped some, but you know, he's moving on to adulthood, and he's just going to do what he wants to do regardless. We'll keep working with him, and we'll keep working through those challenges. But in the meantime, we're going to shoot for healthy-ish things that are beneficial, and then also things he'll eat. I'm going to continue on with the updates as far as the garden goes and the animals go and what we're doing with that. I'm going to start including something I didn't do before that I really need that accountability on, and that is my health journey. That includes what I'm doing as far as how I'm exercising, how I'm structuring my day, what I'm eating, how I'm fueling myself, the wins that I'm having, and obviously the struggles, because I don't want to be fake. I've got to be real. And if I lie to other people, I'm lying to myself too. So we're going to go with that. He is cracking me up. And then on top of that, I'm probably going to end up doing a few just vlogs, Q&A sessions, just depending on what gets put in the comments, those type of things. So with that being said, I'm going to close this out. I don't want it to last more than it needs to. I would really appreciate it if you want to follow along. Going ahead and subscribing to the channel. Like this video. Leave your comments. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what kind of content you'd like to see. And as always, I thank you guys so much. Catch you on the next one.